Hello and hi to everyone. Today we will discuss about the Apple's high fees and how Apple could cut 30% on the fees using VeChain's technology and solve $1 million problem. Apple has been in the news recently for charging a hefty 30% on the gas fees for NFT transfers done on app in the iOS platform. VeChain noted that by using its fee delegation, users can initiate gasless transactions, avoiding huge fee payments. Last week, Coinbase Wallet ended support for NFT transfers for all iOS users since Apple blocked further updates to the app. Tech giant Apple has been demanding that the gas fee required for NFT transfers must be paid only through its in-app system. On top of it, the tech giant charges 30% for all gas fees paid on the Apple ecosystem, which is popular as Apple tax. The issue of hefty Apple tax has been nudging almost every crypto service, with many calling out the tech giant over this matter. However, VeChain has offered users a solution to this matter. In their latest tweet, VeChain Energy noted, "Did you know that with the VeChain fee delegation, developers can avoid Apple's 30% cut on the gas fees, just like Coinbase did by removing a feature for NFT transfers. Simply delegate fees to make it gasless. By using fee delegation, you provide gasless transactions and add an incredible smooth user experience in the process." However, knowing the fact that Apple's native platform is quite closed-ended, the possibility of it adopting VeChain technology is still very much limited. Founded in 2015, VeChain is an enterprise-grade layer 1 smart contract platform. It has collaborated with a variety of businesses in the supply chain industry to explore different blockchain applications. VeChain also assists companies in building out their decentralized apps and carrying out their businesses activities with higher transparency and security. So, let us know what fee delegation is and how VeChain enabled fee delegation features for the DeFi mass adoption. VeChain's fee delegation as a service DAAS feature will facilitate interactions with the smart contracts. DAAS module will be released as open source to be used by other platforms. In a Medium post, VeChain's CTO Peter Zhou revealed a new feature called Fee Delegation as a Service. Integrated into the VeChain Thor's blockchain's native fee delegation period, the feature will allow reducing the complexity of interacting with the decentralized applications by facilitating transaction payment. Zhou explained that one of the biggest obstacles in the DeFi sector is that users must cover network transaction cost to invoke the features in a smart contract. Therefore, they have to use their private keys and pay with the cryptocurrency or token used by the public blockchain. For example, to interact with a smart contract on Ethereum, it is necessary to use gas GWEI to validate the transaction. This creates difficulty for users and hinders the mass adoption of the dApps. Zhao believes it's already hard enough that users have to buy and store cryptocurrency, deal with the volatility of the token price, and so calculating transaction costs is an unnecessary burden. Very true. We all know that Ethereum transaction fees cost 100 minimum 200, 300, $400 just simply a fee or transaction fees. It says on Ethereum these could be worth hundreds of dollars depending on the number of transactions and the congestion on the blockchain. More congestion, higher the fees. Lesser congestion, lower the fees. In contrast, VeChain seeks to implement an infrastructure layer that allows for the delegation of fee payments to the third parties to reduce user exposure to the potential risks and difficulties of interacting with a smart contract. How does this DAS work? VeChain's goal is to become a powerhouse for dApps. Therefore, it was necessary to implement the fee delegation protocol with the DAAS. Thus, the user experience will be improved and a real demand will be created for the relevant token for DeFi services. As shown in the image below, when a user interacts with a smart contracts function, which means when we try to send any token on any decentralized application like VRocket, The DApp will ask for the user's signature, that we all know, because we have to put the password on it, only then the transaction will occur. In parallel, the request will be sent to the DAS provider, who will cover the cost of the transaction. The moment we put the password, the request is also sent to the DAS provider, like the VRocket's developer team, or the team who has built the VRocket decentralized exchange, or DEX. So DAS provider, who will cover the cost of the transaction. So he will cover the cost of the transaction. So moreover, it says the DApps will collect both the vendor and the user's keys, which means my keys and the VRocket's developer team's keys, and issue the transaction on the blockchain. Because it has collected two keys, two passwords, the transaction on the blockchain VThor is signed. The cost of the fee will be reduced from the DAS provider's account. VeChain's CTO clarifies that the DAS can be handled by a third party dedicated exclusively to the service, or by the team that operates the DApp. Furthermore, Zhao explained, in this arrangement, communication between the DApp and DAS module is now standardized by the newly proposed VIP 201. It is a communication protocol that allows any DApp and DAS service provider to seamlessly work together, as long as they both apply the protocol. VeChain expects that the use cases will be expanded beyond the crypto ecosystem. In addition, DAS module to be released in the future will be open source. Therefore, it could be leveraged by other platforms, creating greater adoption for DApps. In another post, it says the blockchain platform VeChain added that it eliminated the requirement of paying transaction fees for users of the decentralized apps, and solved one of the most significant problems inhibiting widespread blockchain adoption, creating space for widespread adoption. If we are getting $100 fee, $50 fee, $200 fee, who is going to sign a transaction? Therefore, it was very necessary to reduce the fees as much as lower, and therefore VeChain has came out with this solution, that usually it is a quota on the VRocket. It is a quota when 1 out of 1, which means in 24 hours you can send one transaction at free of the cost, which means the transaction cost will be paid by the VRocket developer team. We have removed the need for DApp users pay transaction fees and tackled one of the biggest challenges facing mainstream adoption of the blockchain, because fees are very high. So usually people do not send a transaction because of it. Therefore, VeChain has removed this difficulty, and transacting on VeChain and VeChain dexes is very cheaper, very less fees, and that fees is also paid by the dexes like VRocket. One transaction is free in 24 hours, I think, and if you do another on next day or after 1 or 2 days, that also will be fees, because it is quota. One transaction per day is free of cost. So it is very helpful. It encourages mass adoption, which means people are encouraged to use that blockchain, which is not causing any, which is taking zero fees, or very less fees, equal to zero fees. Let us hear more about the VeChain delegation. VeChain introduces fee delegation as a service, enabling seamless mass adoption of the DApps and creating new business opportunities. Users, when using public blockchain-based decentralized applications, are typically responsible for two things. First is signing transaction, that we all know, using their private keys, yes, to invoke smart contract function. Yes, it is clear. Second is paying crypto. Yes, when we have to pay to send crypto, we have to pay in crypto. Paying crypto for their transactions to be executed and included in the public ledger. This thing VeChain is solving. The fee delegation solves this problem. The second responsibility requires users to be able to acquire and manage crypto, endure the volatility associated with the crypto market, as well as navigate potentially variable transaction cost, because the market is up and down every time. So sometime if we are sending, the transaction cost is different, and when we have sent, it becomes increasing. Such issues make the mass adoption of DApps difficult and so far have proven a significant hindrance to the entire blockchain space. Because of this difficulty, its mass adoption is difficult, and therefore this fee delegation is created system is created by the VeChain Foundation or VeChain team. At VeChain, we strongly believe that a public blockchain should serve as an infrastructure layer and not be directly exposed to the users of the applications running on it. Looking at a wider blockchain space, interaction with the blockchain based DApps, for example, signing a transaction without possessing crypto assets seems impossible. Yes, we have enough crypto in our balance as well as enough crypto to initiate a transaction. Even if people do find some kind of solution, for example on Ethereum, it tends to be expensive and technically inefficient because it is very costly, so it is serves no purpose. In contrast, VeChain Thor natively supports such functions thanks to the fee delegation protocol, particularly by the VIP 191 protocol. In summary, VeChain Thor allows someone else to pay the gas fee of your transaction on your behalf, removing a significant adoption hurdle. Like if I am doing transaction today and it is free, why will not I do transaction on after 2 days? I will be encouraged because my transaction today is free, because there is a message comes 1 out of 1 delegation fee quota you have, and I have done one transaction, so I can easily wait for tomorrow or day after tomorrow, and then again I get a 1 out of 1 quota. So it encourages me to use DEXs and decentralized applications. So that is how DEXs on VeChain like VRocket and VEX exchange work. So they have helped immensely in the encouragement of the mass adoption of the crypto ecosystem and the VeChain ecosystem. However, having the fee delegation protocol alone is far from enough to turn VeChain Thor into a DApp powerhouse. Accordingly, we are pleased to formally introduce a new structural infrastructure level module we call Fee Delegation as a Service, DAAS, which allows projects to hide the complexity of paying transaction costs from their users entirely. Which means I do not have to worry about how much transaction is cost, calculating 0.0013 ether cost in dollar will be how much, $20, $50, $100. It is taken over by the VRocket DEX's team, and just have to 1 out of 1 quota, which means zero. I have to pay zero transaction fees. Transaction from their users entirely, significantly improving the user experience and making them more able to be mass adopted. When I am paying zero fees for my transaction, why will not I use VeChain Thor blockchain? The meaning is this: it will make it possible to pay any VeChain ecosystem token for transaction gas fees on the VeChain Thor, potentially creating genuine demand for the token and relevant DeFi services. It also says that VeChain ecosystem, any token on the VeChain ecosystem can be used for transaction as a gas fees on the VeChain Thor blockchain, which means all the projects on the DeFi on the VeChain Thor blockchain can be used in the DeFi services as a gas fees. So this is very good explanation of the VeChain delegation as a service. So the figure below illustrates once the DApp collects both. Yes, we have discussed that once every time a user wants to trigger a smart contract function, the DApp will request the signature of the user. Thus, at the same time, it will also send the same data to the DAS service provider to ask for its signature to pay for the gas fee. Once the DApp collects both signatures, it will assemble a transaction and broadcast it to the VeChain Thor network. After the transaction is processed, the smart contract functions will be executed and a certain amount of VTHO will be deducted from the account of the service provider. Like in this case, usually VRocket deducts 1.88 VTHO for any transaction, and that is after the fixed quota. First quota, if I am doing one transaction per day, then it is 0 fees. If I want to do second transaction, if I want to provide first I have swapped, it is free. Then I want to provide liquidity provider on the VRocket, then that transaction becomes second transaction, and that it charges usually 1 or 2 VTHO per transaction. So this is how simple it is, how beautiful architecture of the VeChain is. So it says in this new arrangement, communication between the DApp and DAS module is now standardized by the newly proposed VIP 201. It is a communication protocol that allows any DApp and DAS service provider to seamlessly work together as long as they both apply the protocol. DAS can be run by the same team that runs the DApp or by a dedicated third-party service provider. In this case, DAS service provider becomes a VRocket's team, developer team. And development, what it say, new that and anything to the looking at the DAS module stands to significantly improve the user's experience of the DApps. Yes, it improves the users, significantly improves, no matter whether enterprise or gaming related. Even a digital wallet can now benefit by turning itself into a DAS service provider, allowing users to charge a single account to pay for the gas fees of all their transactions. And let us see about VRocket. VRocket integrates fee delegation, a blessing for the trades, a promise to the holders. A bless for the trades and a promise to the holders. This is what VRocket blog says. Hello VRocket citizens. Today we are glad to share a grand feature upgrade with you which can enhance your experience on the most important spectrum on a DEX platform, that is faster trades and lower fees. Fee delegation is the crown jewel of the VeChain blockchain. Yes, we have just seen how beautiful it becomes when you do not have to pay a hefty fees on sending a transaction or swapping or even liquidity provider. It is an unprecedented innovation. Yes, it is very great and good innovation which recently attracted the most attention of the community thanks to @VeChain Energy. Our users who have amazingly traded 13 million VET on a single day on VRocket and harvested 3,315 silver NFTs are waiting for this feature. We think there is no better time to fulfill our promise on the roadmap. VIP 191 fee delegation will be officially live. Yes, it is all live, working for many months. The update will be shown on app.vrerocket.com. Yes, it is shown in the as I have just told to you on the mobile phone. If you install a VeRocket app, when you send a transaction, the update will be shown, and it says quota 1 out of 1. Updates will be compatible across Sync 1, Sync 2, Android wallets. Yes, all users are welcome to. It was initially when they were testing it, and just after testing. For regular users, one swap per day is delegated. That is what I was saying. In 24 hours, your first swap is free. Delegated means its fee is covered by the DAS provider or DEX developer, which is VRocket in this case. So what you will see, as simple as a dialog of a TX fee, which is transaction fee, will be paid by the app. This is when you open the app, this message comes, will pop out when you hit the confirm button on the Sync desktop version. This is a desktop version. On Sync 2, similarly it also works on the Android version in the mobile. Very easy to use. On Sync 2 it will be more minimalistic and you won't see a message on it. However, if you check the transaction detail, it will show delegated. Crypto isn't Eurofigure. We and VRocket team cherish it most whenever users trust our product day by day with their funds, assets, and confidence. We are a big stakeholder of the VET token and have donated half our holdings to the fund to fund the liquidity of the pools. With our faith still in decentralization, our efforts are in right place to push out features as fast as we can. This integration is just a further step. So you have seen the beautiful VRocket's decentralized exchange is also using the fee delegation system. So this is all about we have known today about the what is fee delegation. It eliminates the requirements of paying the transaction fees. Now it looks cheaper what is in fees, but it becomes very costly if you are using a already costly iPhone or Apple's NFT highly 30% is very high fees. It is already collecting on just on transferring the NFTs, and on top of it, it also charges 30% of all gas fees paid on the Apple ecosystem. So that is why Coinbase has stopped Apple's NFT transfer to the Apple. Apple is a overrated company. It has no innovation done in map, just simple same what it does chip, new chip, and it raises the price. It says we have developed a new technology. It is called a chip. No, it is not a good technology. Nothing, not much change, not much improvement, not much upgrade. Moreover, it says buy now, pay later, and through which first it issues a credit card, debit card, or Apple Pay, and then it says sign on it, and later after 2 or 3 months, when million of people are on Apple Pay, just simply entering their bank details, then it publishes a new Apple product is coming, like phone, iPhone, etc. And then you can buy now and pay later, and then the user have to pay in EMIs or monthly installments of $100 every month. So the users are bound to purchase Apple products, and have no other way but to give monthly. Every month they have to pay through the Apple, to the Apple. So that is why, but it is good news for us. We have discovered about what is Apple, what is Coinbase, why it is stopping transfer to Apple, and what is VeChain doing about this FT fee, percentage fee transaction. It has already introduced this mechanism, which is called fee delegation, which eliminates the need to pay fees by the users, like we ourselves, and it is taken care of by the in a quota first transaction by the developer of the DEX. So you are seeing VeChain is progressing slowly and slowly. So that was a small piece of discussion today we have. Thank you. Bye.